Hi, welcome to my journey. Oh my goodness, the weather is getting cold, and I tried to, to check out how, I'm going to keep myself warm, right? You got to always test to make sure that whatever you're using to keep yourself warm works, right? If you're going to use those bricks, you're going to have to also make sure that you have the solution on what's going to ignite those bricks to stay warm. Okay, then we're talking about if the electricity goes out. Okay, the bricks and fire, right? It could be a candle, right? Over time, a candle will warm up a brick, and the brick will stay warm a lot longer than no brick. Right? Um, yeah, you can also put them bricks in your fireplace. When you light that fire, put a brick or two in those fireplaces, right? And even when the bricks go down, it won't be like you'll be upset that you don't have like coal bricks, bricks of coal, whatever. Anyway, I was going through uh my hot water bottle, right? Because I got a hot water bottle. I'm like, I got one. I ain't never had to use it, right? Anyway, I went to test it out, and hold on. Okay, so I go to test out my hot water bottle, and it starts leaking, right? So I'm pulling it out of its little, blanket, trying to figure out what's wrong with the water bottle that's never been used. Anyway, it won't be used this year. And my mind is saying, you need to go to Walmart immediately, and go get you a water bottle, a hot water bottle, right? Just in case things get bad, because, oops, because things has gotten pretty bad already, right? Because they have. We dropped down to 38 and 40 degrees, boom, like that. Okay, even though this morning we had like almost clear skies, but right now, the clouds have moved in. Okay, so I don't know who's out there wishing for snow. Okay, but these people who are survivalists, can you please put them on an island? Can we put them on an island so they can live out their survival island, episodes 1 through infinity, right? If they want it to be hot, then put them out there on a tropical island. If they want it to be cold, they got cold Arctic islands up there for them. They don't need to be sitting up here trying to manipulate the world to accommodate them. Okay? So I even got my gloves on. Got my gloves on, got my hats on. Yeah. Right? Still drinking my cold coffee though. When I really should be drinking my hot coffee, but Oh my goodness. My light went on. Must be my tires. Right? Because I'm telling you, that's the first thing that goes, is the tires. So I got a warning light, and I'm almost sure that it's my tires. That's another thing that goes when it gets cold. Oxygen goes, right? Try climbing a mountain where it's cold and see if you don't lack some oxygen. But I'm gonna go on up here to get my water bottle, and then once I know I have that, right? I know that even if the electricity goes out, I have enough wood to burn. I have some bricks. I wasn't able to find the denature, right? The denature that could be burned clean, that has a clean burn. I wasn't able to find that. I would have to probably go to like a hardware store to get that. And I probably should. But depending on how I feel, whether or not I go today or, maybe someday in the future, okay? Or someday in the future. Now, my temperature gauge on the vehicle says it's 43 degrees out here. So, when I get back home, I'm going to have to use the air compressor and fill up my tires, because we've been through this before, right? Every time it gets cold, it's like always something. Just ain't right. Shout out to Key Sweat. Who sang that song? Something just ain't right. So yeah, we're gonna go over here and get that hot water bottle. Gotta stay focused. Keep me focused, Lord. Keep me focused. Give me the spirit of focus, please. Right? Because you can get bombarded with so much stuff in Walmart that you forget what you even came in the store to get. Oh my God. So what they did is they allowed you to do Black Friday deals online, and then, because Walmart has a sign that says Black Friday large item pickups deals. Okay? So they were allowing people to pick up their deals at a location where they didn't have to go into the store and pick them up, not just the large items. Okay. I'm so nice to let people cross. I am so nice to let people cross. And some people, they just get mad. You heard that person step on his gas because he was mad. He was mad. Now, these clouds that we have in the sky right here, you see the chemtrails right here? Right? You can see the remnants. These are not real clouds. However, there are clouds that's real enough to freeze your ass. Okay? Let's go on in here and get the hot water bottle. And then we'll move on from there. Okay, now I'm pissed off again, right? It's like the pink tax has happened again, right? Where a woman can't even buy a cheap hot water bottle, right? She has to order it online or go to CVS or Walmart and spend twice as much, right? So my thing is, I just want to bring this to the attention to these women. That these men are basically, eliminating the things that are important to you. $6 for the Equate daytime flu. Don't let them do that. It's not going to serve you well. It's just not. Right? Because you're going to be sitting up here needing a fucking hot water bottle. And he's going to be talking about use that old milk container and put some hot water in that. You could. But why should you? Anyway, I am glad that I came and checked it out. Like I said, it's disgusting. Right? Because, the hot water bottle used to be used for several things. It used to be used for dishes. It used to be used for aches and pains. And it also used to be used to keep your ass warm at night in the cheapest way possible. As long as you can boil some water, or you could even use hot water out of the tap. Right? And this is really important. This is really important in a day where electricity costs a lot of money, and some people, they don't have electricity to spare. Okay? So, since that didn't work out very well, now I'm going to go to Home Depot to see if I can find some of the denature, see how much that is, because that's like a fuel that burns clean, right? And you can use that, to burn with a wick. Heat up some bricks in your house, keep you warm, even when the weather gets freezing or below. Because whatever the temperature is right now during the day, it's going to get twice as much about 5 o'clock in the morning, before dawn. Before dawn, it always gets very warm. I think it said tire pressure. Let me see that again. Yeah, it says check tire pressure. That's what I thought it was. Because it's that all the time. I mean, oh my God. I swear. When people park the wrong way, down a one way, they don't even know that they're blocking traffic. They're like, I'm just trying to get out. Okay, so I want to go to, I'm not that far from Lowe's, right? Get out the way, get out the way. Get out of the way. So yeah, all them pigeons, they didn't want to move out the way. Although Lowe's is good, I don't know why I don't really like going to Lowe's. it's not that far. Lowe's is not that far from where I'm at. Actually, Lowe's is closer on both sides of me than any Home Depot, right? So let's go ahead and go after what's close and see if we have to go further. Yeah, I cannot believe it. So I was talking to the manager there and asking her about the hot water bottle, and she was like, you know, it doesn't look like you can buy it anywhere except online. Like, you can buy it from Walmart, but you can't pick it up in the store. It's not stocked in the store at all. And it really did. It had me wondering, are they going to stop stocking tampons? I mean, it's despicable. It's just insane. And I know women are like, oh, no way. No way. Men wouldn't do that. If they want to see you suffer, yes, they will. Yes, they will. This lady was telling me that they have some kind of like contraption that they could put up in, you know, your vagina, and it will trap the blood inside of a container. Okay. Now, I personally wouldn't like that, but at the same time, what's worse, you know, dropping soggy tampons all over the place, or having, you know, a thing that traps your blood in your vagina while you're on your period. Interesting, right? Something to think about. I can't remember what she called it. They didn't have that contraption when I was on my period, right? I'm menopausal, right? That's why I can be asexual. I don't have those hormone influxes, those sexual drives. That will make you put up with men's shit until you can't. Yeah. So while I was parking, there was these two ladies, you know, taking back what looked like, I want to say, a 65-inch flat screen back to the store. You know, sometimes those sales can make you buy stuff like, because it's a good deal. It's a good deal, right? They might have got a 65-inch flat screen, you know, for, who knows, $500, right? And so they were like, wow, you know, we'll never have this deal again, right? But they probably thought about it, and they were like, you know, do you really need that big TV in any of your rooms, right? Some people had bought TVs and didn't really have a room big enough to fit that size of a TV, right? The TV was like a mural in that room. Which is interesting, you know, which is interesting. It made me think about, you know, how I always wanted a wall mural that was animated. Yeah, that way I can have whatever I want, right? If I want to make it a tropical scene, I can put a tropical scene on the display. Yeah. Anyway, that went somewhere. I'm back now. I'm back. So we're gonna go over here to Lowe's and see if we can find the denature, right? And if it's not too expensive, meaning that if it's $15 or below, because that's a lot of money, right? That's more money than gasoline. So it would be worth it to buy like you know, the oil for those wicker lights. It would be worth it to buy that instead of buy and the light, rather than buying the denature if it's over like $10-15. It just would be. So we're gonna go look at that and see if it would be there and what the prices are, because like I said, you want to be able, if you can, right? A lot of people are like, well, you know, candles. Yeah, but candles burn out and burn down. And, you know, you can't really, you can contain them, right? And a lot of times we think that because a candle is contained in a glass container that it is contained indeed. But sometimes those glass containers can crack from the heat, spill candle wax all over the place, and the next thing you know, you got a whole fire on your hand. Okay? So I prefer the if you can, you know, have the lantern, right? The oil lantern. Because usually the oil is contained in such a way that, you know, if it tips over, you know, you can probably, you know, put it back up, you know, before it causes a leakage that will catch on fire. But normally you wouldn't even put it in a place like that. Okay, so we're gonna go take a look, right? Because like I said, it's 40 degrees right now, right? And we are at noon, 12:30. So that means, you know, if it's cold during the day and the sun is out, right, and it's still cold, imagine how cold it's going to feel after the sun goes down. Okay? And that's why I'm out here, you know, if nothing else, preparing, you know, for, you know, nighttime. Now, when it comes to having it delivered to my house, I am part of the Walmart Assist, right? So I am paying monthly to have my shit delivered. And they also opened up an option that, you know, for the Walmart Assist, that they don't have to pay a tip if they don't want to pay a tip. Okay? They do recognize that you're struggling financially, and they still want your business, right? And hopefully it all works itself out, you know, that the people that are making money, that they're out here tipping, right? They're out here tipping. I'm going to go over here to CVS and see how much their water bottle is on my way back out. I think, since I'm out here walking around, right? Ooh, there's that, there's that black Infinity. There it is. It's been there like for a whole year. More than a year. But let me do what I said I was gonna do. that's what we need to be doing. We need to do what we say we're going to do and stop mind fucking ourselves. Because it's easy to get distracted. Real easy to get distracted. So I'm going to go in here, see if they have some lanterns, see if they have some denature, and then we'll talk about it.